This is the Red Allover Show with me, Josh Everton, Andy Simcoxon, Alan Smith, and a blank bottom left corner, which is the Red Allover logo. As we're down to three, we're a man down. Early doors as well. You don't want to get a man sent off early doors. In this
We
show,
don't.
we're
We've
gonna
already made three substitutions, haven't we? On three
exactly,
occasions, so we didn't
exactly.
have
We've
one
already had it.
left.
We've
They
had
haven't
it.
passed, they haven't passed physio, have they? They haven't passed test, have they? Fitness test.
It is what it is. We're rolling with what we've got today. So we're going to quickly look back at last Saturday's game and then look forward to Stevenage this weekend. So, Al, you weren't at the instant reaction to the game on Saturday. What did you make of it? Because it was sort of a slightly improved performance against Charlton, but again, just seems to be lacking that clinical edge a little bit.
We were, weren't we? I couldn't believe we couldn't get out of the zone half, could we, for the first 10 minutes? They pushed us back and pushed us back, Charlton. And I thought, crikey, this is going to be tough. And it were all coming down right-hand side. And I'm thinking, we're struggling here. We're really struggling. And luckily enough, thanks to referee and linesman, we got a goal, which wasn't a goal, but you'll take that for all bad decisions we've had going against us. So it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? And what a finish again by who's at back of me, Adam Phillips, back on score sheet. I think it's is it about 10 months before he last scored a goal. So hopefully there's more to come from Adam. And then second half, well, what can I say? I think it was a poor goal to concede, honestly, truthfully. Jordan Williams should have cleared it, oofed it, got it out into Rose head or whatever, but he didn't get enough on it, went to their player and then got a lucky flick. And then he got behind, I think it were MDG, he wanted it with pace, he got round him. And crikey, he skated round that 18-yard box to put ball in back at net. So, yeah, I thought last home game we got a lucky goal. And then this one, we managed it. So we're still unbeaten, I suppose. You look at it that way, and it was great to see Liam Roberts back in sticks. That was a bonus, wasn't it? And I don't think he had much to do except take ball out at net. So I don't think Charlton offered that much. But still, we can't do much at Oakwell, can we? Hopefully, change it on Saturday and get something to smile about for Christmas.
Yeah, it did seem a bit of a weird game, Andy, when we sat and reflected on it, 'cause obviously we did an instant reaction to it. But sitting back on it, it was one of them games where, as Al's mentioned there, Liam Roberts is not really, he's just watched most of that game. To be honest, like, yeah, Charlton fizzed a few balls across face of goal and put us under some pressure. But in terms of shots on target and actual output from them, not really they didn't really offer too much, did they?
No, I mean, for the first bit, as Alan said, they pushed us back. They were quicker to the ball and all that, but it were all show and no go. They didn't really threaten the goal, but they looked like they were going to, but they didn't. Now, some of that might have been down to our defending. Some of that they took too long sometimes. And as Alan said, it were a poor goal for us to concede. At 1-0, I thought we got it wrapped up because I thought they're not going to score. They're just going to continue to huff and puff, but they're not going to. They're not going to do it because they're not getting anywhere. They take too long. They're not getting anywhere. They run about quick, and then don't do it. So, but I thought they were a decent side. But I thought we played all right, and I thought after last month's goal of the month, I think Adam Phillips is going to be the goal of the month this month and all in December. I think it'll be that goal of the month because what a goal! What a goal! Play to the whistle. Play to the whistle. We were always taught it, Al. Play to the whistle. All this, I'm going to shimmy it out. Serves him right, like goalkeeper for Wickham. Serves him right. Serves the defender right. Tried to hold Herbie off. Tried to hold him off. Let go out of play. Just block him off and all that. Obstruct him and all that. He got what his just deserts and all. Well done, referee and linesman. Well done. We deserved it. I don't care. We scored. It was a perfectly good goal. What a goal. Goal at month.
In terms of, obviously, because as much as Charlton didn't really threaten our goal, I can't really remember, apart from the wonderful save that their keeper made in the first half from Herbie Kane's strike from about 25 yards, I can't really think of too many times where their keeper came to the rescue, where we seem to... There are a lot of balls that were hot into dangerous areas, and we were just a little bit too slow to it. I know there's a couple I can think of in terms of I think O'Keefe put 1 or 2 in, and McAtee was just ever so slightly away from it. So I think as much as they huffed and puffed, I reckon we were probably in the same boat. Would you say?
We were, weren't we just wanted right places. But what I would have done, and I was surprised that he did, he only gave Jallo about 10 minutes. I'd have given Jallo at least 20, 25 minutes. He didn't really get into the game, did he? Bless him. He couldn't at that stage of the game. So that were me. And I don't think Devante were happy that he were being subbed either when he went off. So
He needs to play better then.
Well,
play better and control ball better if he wants to stay on pitch.
Fair point. But we've got to look at fetching Jallo on a game on more minutes, because I think he can change a game.
Yeah, I think it's like we discussed last week. It's sort of that bridging of chucking him in too early, and it feels a little bit harsh, especially given the position in which we expect ourselves to be in, of pushing for promotion, to put the weight of that on a 17-year-old shoulders, and in a way in it of, should Jallo be the one to turn to in them moments? I mean, there's always that phrase of, if you're good enough, you're old enough, I suppose, as well.
He is. You know, he's just turned 18, so he's still a bairn. You know, he's still got a long way to go. But he's exciting. He's one of the players that gets you off your feet. That he might create something, he might do something. And, you know, I've said before, you know, an ideal replacement for Luke Thomas, who I thought got you off your seat, but then fizzled. You know, he gets ball and you think, smack it, Luke, and he'd try and pass it and it'd be intercepted. So the end result weren't quite the same, but the build-up were good. You know, we've got a few players like that, you know, over the years. Barry Cotter can do that, but all he's got to do is remember to do it with the ball rather than run on his own. So it's exciting, and he's got that bit different, that he's stronger, he can ride a tackle, and he goes at him. And truthfully, he's providing, a couple of times, provides an end result, whether he's scoring or laying somebody else on. So, you know, I just hope we can tie him down to a further contract and what have you. But if he maintains the same thing, then, you know, the sky's the limit for him. We really have to be careful how much we push him, because we don't want another Noble Lazarus, because Ruben were going to be a world beater, and it fizzled. I think, you know, we've said before about Jasper Moon, a decent player that we could spoil. And so I think as a club, we're trying to be a bit more careful. But there's a balance, isn't there, between being careful and using, because if you can be so careful that they never play and get fed up with not playing. So, you know, I think Alan's right. 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It's like, go on, you've got 10 minutes, make a difference. You know, give us a miracle. And it's only 18. He's only a young lad, so can't expect it for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think it is. It's nice to have that option of there's someone on the bench, I suppose, that can produce that moment of magic which we need, because he is, in my opinion, he's different to all the other strikers we've got, because he's got the ability to go and do that necessarily, which is nice to see. There's one thing I've noticed, Andy. That's a lovely little shirt you've got on, by the way.
Nice segue, nice one.
Yeah, nice little.
Move the topic on, really nice, Joe. Yeah, yeah. Oh, Smithy, that's old. That Smithy, that's last month's shirt. Last month's shirt, Smithy. We've all got them. Yeah, I came back this afternoon. I've been out this afternoon. Came back to a lovely surprise. I got a parcel that, come on, Mac, wrapped in pink. I thought it was for my wife, because it's wrapped in pink. She's got your name on it, and it was a lovely present from Mark Wells, who's from Horsham FC. He's there, his club historian and program creator, that I keep in regular touch with. And he said he went round their club shop and saw this polo shirt, I don't know which badge, Horsham badge with this thing. And he said he saw it and he thought of me, because Lardy Army. So he sent it me as a Christmas present, and really, I found it really lovely. It was really touching. So I told him that I'd wear it on this show. I mean, it's a way of getting an extra viewer, because he says he'll watch it because I'm wearing an Horsham shirt. So maybe if Al puts his shirt up again, he'll watch it twice. I don't think it'll mean any more to viewers, but so this is for you, Mark. So thank you very much. And what I will say, because I've been tracking Horsham since since we beat them, but they beat us because they went through and we didn't. Oh, God. So since we played them in November at their ground and won 3-0, but they went through. Never happened again. Horsham have played 5, 6, 7, 8 matches. They've won 5. Some are in the league, in the Isthmian League. Some are in the trophy, the FA Trophy. Some, obviously, been in second round at FA Cup. After the 8 matches, they've won 5, they've drawn 2, and they've lost 1 since they played us. The one that they lost, sadly, Smithy's got ump on because he ain't got one. Sadly,
He's took it well.
he took it well, Al. Sadly, the one game they lost was the FA Cup second round against away to Sutton when they lost, Sutton United when they lost 3-0. So that apart, at the non-league level, they've not lost. Won 5 and drawn 2. The 6th in the league. They're away behind the top few. I don't know how many go up. I've tried to find out. I don't know how many go. There are a number of points behind it, but they've got a number of games in hand because obviously they've been playing it FA Cup more than once against us. So if they keep that continue on that trajectory, it could be a really good season for them, and hopefully, that'll be the case. What I'm hoping is Horsham go up this season, that me and you'll get sent to a bar of lard. That's what we need, Al, a bar of lard, so we can put it, so we can do a show with bar of lard in front of us. They might put it on a dugout, me and you, Al. So think of that, Mark. When you watch this, Mark, think of that end of the season, a couple of bars of lard, cheaper than this. So thank you, Mark. Much appreciated. So well done, Horsham, and keep it going, Dom.
Yeah, it's lovely to see them doing well and keeping in touch, which is great to see. So looking forward to our matters. Stevenage at home this weekend. Manager Steve Evans, who is by far one of my favourite Leeds managers of all time, because I think he led them to mid-table at best, which is great to see, them maroon mid-table. Top scorer Jamie Reid on 13 in the league. League position 4th, so just in front of us, and form draw, win, win. And key player pulled out is Carl Piergiani, which I'm really glad that he's been pulled out as a key player with a second name like that, which I've definitely butchered. So I'm very sorry, Carl, because he will be watching this, obviously. Set up in somewhat of a 3-4-1-2, and Jamie Reid's averaging a goal every 123 minutes. So, Al, Stevenage, a side which obviously came up last season, and you'd imagine riding the crest of promotion would have fizzled out by now. So to me, Stevenage is one of the sides that are the real deal and the real package this season.
Yeah, Evans has got them buzzing, hasn't he? And that Carl Piergiani scored against Exeter, 45 minutes plus 1, and according to what he were crossing a header. So we've got to be up for it, because we're, I think, potentially a bit weak when it comes to crosses over in box to defend. So that's something we've got to look at and be aware of, and stop the supply. So we've really, midfield's got to work, and wing backs have got to track back and make sure and ensure that crosses aren't coming in to give us a Christmas present, hopefully, on Saturday. And going to Boxing Day to Port Vale, win another 3 points. But I don't think it's going to be easy. It's going to be a tough game. And I think it's our football club's family day as well, isn't it? What they've and then it's in
Remington, isn't it?
of Rimo. It's dedicated game in memory of Rimo on Saturday as well. Which what a guy Rimo was, and I'll tell you a story what Rimo told me. It was the fact that it were against Blackburn Rovers in Premiership in 97-98 season. Dad had gone to the dressing room, had a look round and showed him round for his 75th birthday, and talking to Rimo, and Rimo says, he says, these prima donnas, these Premier League players won't like what I've done. I've got heat in it dressing room to full blast. They'll be sweating before they even put a foot on that pitch. Oh, what a character. He had it on full blast all the time in the away dressing room.
That's equivalent to our groundsman setting sprinklers going, even if it's been in a monsoon for the last few days.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's comes missing at the minute with some of that certain housery in and around it, things like that. You've got to do everything you can to get an advantage. And obviously there's this burden, let's say, and this looming message that we've not beaten aside in the top 10. Although I would argue we have beaten aside in the top 10 if you remove Wigan's point deduction, because I think that does put them 9th or 10th. So clinging on to hope that we have beaten a team in the top 10 who went down to 10 men at the time. You'd think Stevenage is not in, this might come across poorly in a way, but you'd think that's a side that we would potentially, out of all of them, have an opportunity of beating, even though they're in such good form and in such a strong position. It's one of those, especially at the start of the season, we'd be expecting 6 points home and away against Stevenage.
Well, Steve Evans is a manager that we know well from his time at Rotherham United, and did really well at Rotherham United. His teams are as hard as nails and get stuck in and are in your face. He's a Marmite character, I think, Steve. A bit like Neil Warnock has been over the years. I've no doubt he'll not understand a word I'm saying because of my Barnsley accent, but that's all right because I don't understand half of what he says with his strong Scottish accent. But he gets his teams playing. They're in your face and he gets them playing. Where you can't argue with the fact that they've scored 32 goals in the league this season in 22 matches and only conceded 21 goals. So they've not so it's less than one a game, and yet they've scored a number of goals, like you said, Jamie Reid especially. They've scored a number of goals. So they don't do that by being defensive and dour. He'll get them up and at them. In general, they've not lost in the last 6 matches. Away matches, they've lost a couple of the last 6 away matches, just away matches. 1, 3, drawn 1 and lost 2. But generally, 4 wins and 2 draws. That's some going. And the last matches, they beat Wycombe 1-0. I don't suppose it were like a Cosgrove goal. They beat Fleetwood 3-1 and they beat Burton 2-1. So you're not talking about the biggest of hitters, but decent sides. And you don't get to be 4th in the table and score that number of goals and concede relatively that few goals and be poor. So although they've come up and you'd think, at the start of the season, that might be the ones that have struggled. We've seen that before with other teams, such as your Plymouth and what have you. I don't think they'll play. I could be wrong. I don't know because I've not seen them. I don't suppose they'll play the purest football that Plymouth played, but they'll be a really hard team to beat. And if we're not on our mettle and match them, they'll be at us. And we know that if teams push us and are at us from the moment, we don't handle that right well. So we've got to be ready for what's going to come. And of course, you know what's going to happen. It didn't work for him. They've got Kane Hemmings, haven't they, who came down to us from Scotland on a, where did he come from? He come from Burton, I think, originally. I think he lived in Burton. On the crest of a wave, came down from Scotland, and it didn't happen for him. We played him up front, we played him at back, and he couldn't score. It looked as though he could play, but it never worked for him at all. Well, he's there now, and he's making a tidy career. He's only scored 4 goals, but you know what's going to happen. You know what'll happen. He'll get, it always happens, doesn't he?
He'll double that tally on Saturday. He'll go from 4 to 8. No, look.
They've also got Nick Freeman, who I think is a decent player, and that's not the ones that's not counting the one that you two have mentioned that I'm not going to pronounce because I'll get it wrong. Carl, young Carl.
Carl.
I hope Carl has an off day. But we'll see. I've always liked Nick Freeman. I think he might. He's only scored 1, but he could make him tick. He plays just behind strikers, so he could make him tick. So we'll see.
As Andy's mentioned, obviously Steve Evans. We know what a Steve Evans team is going to do, and it's something that we struggle against of sort of big, strong teams who play the dark arts nicely and get away with it, and they will just try and run and outrun us, outmuscle us. They'll be strong in a tackle, and it's them kind of things that we struggle against in it. So does that make you a little bit nervous for Saturday?
We've got to be strong and be up for it, haven't we? Because, as I said, Steve Evans' teams, they're always in your face, aren't they? They never let you settle. It's Big Steve. I mean, remember him running out touchline when Rotherham got promoted into playoff final. I don't know if he can still run that fast now, but
or keep his trousers up.
but yeah, you know what you're getting with Steve Evans' side. And Collins has got to get our lads up for it and make them aware that they've not got to be bullied, they've not got to be harassed, they've got to play his own game. And I think if we can get through that, then we've got a good chance at overcoming them and beating a side in top 6.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get that sort of burden away from us.
Well, after Saturday, I hope they do well, because at the start of the season, the underdogs, you've got your big teams like your Derbys and your Portsmouths and what have you. And I'm not taking anything away from any of them, but you wouldn't expect, or people wouldn't have expected, Stevenage to be up there. So I'm really chuffed that the underdogs are getting among them and dishing out some lessons. I just hope it's not on Saturday. I hope they have a day off, a bit of Christmas cheer, have a day off, and then start again on.
Look at Simcox,
Boxing Day.
Stevenage. Good grief! You wanting a Stevenage top off Evans on Saturday?
I don't suppose us get one. He's even tighter than a Yorkshireman. He's from Scotland. He's even tighter than we are, and we're tight, Al.
Right.
I don't think I'll be wearing a Stevenage top, Al.
Let's get the little uns on for their predictions before we give ours.
I'm top of the mini league. Wow, you really know your stuff, don't you? Yeah, consider this my application form for the director of football. Right then, smarty pants, what do you think the score's going to be? I think it'll be 2-1 to Barnsley. I think it'll be 2-0 to Barnsley. If you think you're better than predicting than us, get it in the comments down below. You Reds!
So, a 2-1 and a 2-0 Barnsley win. Interesting, seeing they've both gone positive. I'm going to copy you two. So, Al, what do you reckon then to Saturday?
Oh, well, it depends how much Christmas pudding we've had pre-Saturday. I hope they haven't had the Christmas dinner. I did see on social media where they'd all been out fancy dressing for the Christmas party, which were quite funny. So I hope they get through that, and there's going to get Andy special, a 2-1 Reds win.
I hope none of them were dressed as a clown. It's my domain, that.
It's just make a copyright strike there and a trademark.
No, I'm not having it. Only me and Charlie Caroli. Not having it.
We'll be having that in.
Well,
what do you reckon, Andy?
People can do a lot worse than copy young George, little Al. They could do better than George, because there were 7 people predicted a draw against Charlton. 6 of them predicted 2-2. Only 1, little Georgie Webster, little Al, who get it large, goalkeeper that saves penalties at the Christmas show. He went 1-0, so he's now I can't get my head around this. He's now top of the mini league in front of me, above me, at my age.
Wheels have fell off your season.
And he's only a few points now. I think it's about 3 points behind in the main competition, behind Tony Carlson. He's coming for you, Tony. Ooh. Watch him. He's coming for you, Tony. Tony's been way above everybody, 6 and 7 points above. Well, it's 3 points above. So little George is coming on. So when little George with his brother Isaac say, can you predict better than a 10-year-old? In the mini comp, we're only about 4 games left. We can't. And in the whole season, only Tony can predict so far better than a 10-year-old. So all I would say is to all our fellow Barnsley fans that predict and watch the show, get your predictions in and buck up. Buck your ideas up. You're making us all look stupid. 2-1 to Barnsley.
Oh, that's it. You're all stealing it now, the 2-1.
It were mine first. I've been it.
No, you're piggybacking off back of George now. You're piggybacking off his success.
Come on, George.
I'm going to go with... I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to say 1 apiece. We'll cancel each other out. It'll be one of them ones. And we'll. Oh, I love to see us win just to get this not being a side
You know,
in
it's
top
Tuesday
10,
night,
top
so we
6.
can do it on a Saturday. We only get draws on Tuesday nights.
Do we? Is that a stat? Is that a Stato Smithy special though? Just pulled out. We're in draw on Tuesdays.
We don't turn up Tuesday with a few Tuesdays rearranged matches coming up, aren't we? In next year, we've got Exeter sorted out to come in 16th of January, and then they've got in March they've got Bolton on a Tuesday night coming up, aren't we?
I think Carlisle get rearranged as well to a Tuesday as well.
Carlisle, sorry, it is Carlisle. That's
Oh,
16th.
I didn't know if Exeter were a different game at all.
Can I just say thank you to Barnsley Football Club, because for once, I know I'm I get treated well because I'm in East Stand. I'm not like your Wallers. I get treated well, and I'll tell you this. We had a nice little snack before the match on Saturday. It were all right.
I think you mentioned this already.
Yorkshire wrap. It were lovely. A Yorkshire wrap, festive Yorkshire wrap.
Can you give me some words from Yorkshire wrap, Andy?
It were. Leave it, Alan. It were really good. But what I will say is that for us golden oldies like me and Smithy and rest of old folk, tomorrow, because we're recording this on a Wednesday, lunchtime tomorrow, for a $5 a head for old folk in the Legend Suite, we're getting a 2-course meal for a $5. So it's a nice touch. For us old ones that have been following them for 65 years, we finally got a £5 2-course meal now out at club. So well done to Barnsley. I hope the food's nice. If it's anything like I've had so far, thank you. Much appreciated. Well, yeah, I'll take the next show.
You live a life of luxury in that East End upper.
It's a blooming long way up to where I sit, though.
Yeah, but you've got chicken wraps going on. You've got flatbreads. I think that's the same thing. And you've got
kids
your
chicken
wraps.
nuggets. Kids had chicken chips and chicken select.
On when was it Tuesday? Sorry. When was Joe now? Joe on Saturday ended up having his Christmas dinner from Ponty End. Talking to Big Kev, wherever it is as well. So you see, you can get Christmas dinners with pigs in blankets, roast potato Yorkshire puds in Ponty End.
Wow. No, you only get Bovril in West End.
I'm having words about that. So I'm going to see what presumably the festive thing on Saturday will be the same. So I might have another Yorkshire because it was lovely. It was really nice.
Well, it definitely outdoes the Bovril that we get in the West End, I suppose.
I'll take my own Bovril. Got to Bovril.
Right. We'll see you on. No, that won't be out. I was thinking then there'd be a wind, but there's not out yet. We'll see you on Saturday. For instant reaction, we'll be outside the club shop again. So if you want to come down for a fan cam, want to come down and say hello, come and find us.
Please come and say hello. Please come on the fan cam.
Oh, don't come and say hello to Andy because we had to wait 25 minutes last week actually to start recording.
It's not my fault. I'm an internet sensation.
Exactly. There was just fanfare outside.
Up here.
Everybody, a Merry Christmas from Red All Over Show.
Absolutely.
I won't be there on Saturday.
Part time.
Ben. So. Are we doing as well on if fans will come on the show on Saturday after the game to do a preview of the Port Vale game for Boxing Day?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've already done an away end, Al. So I'm going a bit daft because I did an away end an hour ago for Port Vale game. So I'm a bit confused with where we are talking Stevenage now, aren't we? I'm a bit confused where I am, but. Yeah, I think we can do a quick preview, can't we? While we still Arctic freezing. Are you doing it, Al? Will you be there, Al?
I can't do it.
No, see, tell us. We'll stand
I think I'm busy as well, actually. So,
the more the merrier.
What you're two are going to be missing on Saturday?
Yeah, pantomime, I think.
Well.
He's
that
behind.
Means nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, you're not.
Right.
I'll do a preview then. I'll do a preview on my own with Tracy while you're two are at warmth. Don't worry about me stood at freezing cold doing previews as well as.
You live a life of luxury in that East End up. I don't want to hear no sad story from you as I ever like hardship.
I like to be coddled.
Right. We'll catch you on Saturday when we're back with the instant reaction and Port Vale preview. We'll see you later. I don't know what's going on there.
You Reds, bloody army.